Picture two people. Same city. Same building. Almost the same rent. Person A earns $90,000 a year. Walk into their place, you'll see a gaming setup that cost $3,000. Shoes still in boxes. A guitar they played twice. A coffee machine still in the packaging. 3 streaming subscriptions they forgot about. They check their bank app and immediately close it. Person B earns $48,000 a year. Walk into their place, you'll notice something unusual. Space. A couch. A working laptop. A kitchen with exactly what gets used. Their bank app? They check it every morning. With a smile. They have 14 months of expenses saved. They invest automatically every single month. Same building. Person B earns nearly half as much and has 8 times the financial security. This is not about income. This is about something most people will never figure out. Today I'm giving you the minimalist money rules that separate people who always have money from people who never do, no matter what they earn. Before the rules, one concept that will permanently change how you see every purchase. Everything you own costs money twice. The first cost is what you paid. The second cost, most people never see it. The second cost is storage, maintenance, mental space, and opportunity cost. That fitness equipment sitting in the corner? It takes up roughly 20 square feet of your home. In most cities, that space costs $40 to $60 per square foot per year in rent. You're paying $800 to $1,200 every year to store something that collects dust. That's just one item. The second cost also includes your attention. Every object you own demands something from your brain. Clean it, organize it, insure it, worry about it, eventually throw it out. Researchers found that visual clutter raises cortisol, the stress hormone, and quietly reduces your ability to think clearly. Your stuff is literally costing you peace of mind. And the biggest second cost of all, opportunity cost. Every $10,000 tied up in things you don't really use is $10,000 that isn't growing. In 15 years at average market returns, that $10,000 becomes $35,000. You didn't just buy a thing. You chose it over future freedom. Now, the rules. Rule 1, calculate cost per use. Before any purchase, ask one question: how many times will I actually use this? Divide the price by realistic uses. That is your true cost. A $180 jacket worn twice, $90 per wear. A $350 jacket worn every week for 2 years, less than $3 per wear. The more expensive jacket is actually the cheaper one. A $280 kitchen gadget you use twice a year, $140 per use. A $25 knife you use daily, under 10 cents per use by month 3. This one calculation destroys most impulse purchases immediately. Because when you write it out, $120 per use, the excitement disappears. And it shows you where spending genuinely makes sense. A quality mattress used every single night. A reliable laptop used for work 8 hours a day. These have some of the lowest cost per use of anything you'll ever buy. Do the math before every purchase. It takes 30 seconds. It saves thousands per year. Rule 2, the replacement test. Walk through wherever you live right now, mentally if you need to. For every single item, ask, if this disappeared today, would I spend money to replace it? Be honest. Would you replace the stationary bike? The bread maker? The decorative items collecting dust on a shelf? The clothes you haven't worn in over a year? For most people, honestly, no. They would not replace most of what they own. These items exist through inertia, not intention. They were bought in excitement, kept out of guilt, and now they silently drain your energy and your space. Items that fail this test have negative value. They cost you rent space, cleaning time, mental bandwidth, and return nothing. Minimalists apply this test ruthlessly. What fails the test gets sold, donated, or removed. And something strange happens after. Rooms feel bigger. Decisions feel lighter. You know exactly where everything is, because everything still there earns its place. Rule 3, never upgrade out of boredom. Here's a pattern that quietly destroys wealth among people with decent incomes. They upgrade things that still work perfectly, just because a newer version exists, or because they're bored. The phone that calls, messages, and runs every app they need, replaced because the new one has a slightly better camera angle. The car that starts every morning and gets them everywhere, traded in because the new model has a different grille. The furniture that functions completely, replaced because they've grown tired of looking at it. This is wealth destruction wearing the disguise of progress. The average person replaces their phone every 2 to 3 years, while the old one still works fine. Over a 30-year period, that pattern alone costs between $30,000 and $50,000. Multiply that across cars, electronics, furniture, clothes, and the lifetime waste crosses $200,000 easily. Minimalists define broken very specifically. An item is broken when it genuinely cannot do its job anymore. Boredom is not broken. Wanting something newer is not broken. Your neighbor buying something shinier is definitely not broken. If it works, keep it. That's the rule. Rule 4, engineer your environment. Willpower is not a strategy. Willpower runs out, especially at night, when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're bored. Minimalists don't rely on willpower. They engineer the environment so the right choice is also the automatic choice. Making spending harder looks like removing saved card details from every shopping site, deleting apps that make purchasing one tap away, unsubscribing from every promotional email, adding a 24-hour rule: any non-essential purchase waits one full day before you act on it. Studies show that 24-hour delay eliminates roughly 70% of impulse purchases, because the desire simply fades when you don't feed it immediately. Making saving easier looks like automatic transfers that move money out before you see it. Keeping your investment account in a separate bank from your daily spending account. Treating savings like a bill it leaves on payday, no decision required. The person who deleted the shopping app isn't fighting temptation. The temptation literally cannot reach them in that moment. Design the system. Let the system do the work. Rule 5, count what you own. This sounds strange. Do it anyway. Pick one category today. Count every single item in it. How many t-shirts do you actually own? How many chargers? How many kitchen tools? How many things in that one drawer that barely closes? Most people guess low and discover they own 3 to 4 times more than they thought. The count itself changes behavior. Once you know you own 44 shirts, buying one more stops being just a shirt. It becomes bringing the number to 45. The math makes the habit visible. Minimalists set maximum limits for categories. 30 items of clothing total. 12 books at a time. 1 in, 1 out, any new item requires removing something existing first. These limits create friction at the moment of purchase. That friction is worth thousands of dollars per year. Rule 6, rent before you own. Most things people buy with excitement get used intensely for a short period, then barely ever again. The camping gear. The photography equipment. The musical instrument. The sport they tried twice. Before committing to ownership, rent it. Borrow it. Use a shared space. First, it tells you whether the interest is real or just excitement. Most interests fade after a few real experiences. Better to learn this while renting than while storing equipment for years. Second, it teaches you exactly what you need. First-time campers who rent learn that they only needed half of what they thought. When they eventually buy, they buy precisely, not guessingly. Your home is not a museum of past enthusiasm. Test before you commit. Rule 7, calculate the full ecosystem cost. No major purchase exists alone. Every big item creates an ecosystem of supporting costs. A boat is not just the price of the boat. It's the trailer. The vehicle that can tow it. The storage fees. The insurance. The registration. The maintenance that industry experts estimate at 10% of the boat's value every single year. A pool isn't just installation. It's chemicals. Cleaning equipment. Covers. Furniture around it. And in many cases, landscaping that suddenly needs updating to match. A $6,000 purchase might actually be a $10,000 commitment once you map the full ecosystem. Before any major decision, list every connected cost. The full picture often makes it obvious. And it works in reverse. Remove one major item, and an entire ecosystem of costs disappears with it. Rule 8, define enough before you earn more. Here's what traps high earners: they never decide what enough looks like. So when income goes up, lifestyle goes up to match. The new lifestyle becomes the new normal. Now they need more income just to feel the same. The cycle never ends. People earning $300,000 report the same financial stress as people earning $70,000, because their costs expanded to match their income every single time. Minimalists break this by defining enough in advance. What size of home is genuinely enough? What kind of car actually meets your needs? What wardrobe do you actually wear? Write these definitions down. Keep them somewhere visible. When income grows beyond that point, the surplus flows entirely into savings and investments, not into an upgraded lifestyle. The person who defines enough at $55,000 of annual spending and starts earning $130,000 builds wealth at an extraordinary rate. Every dollar above enough goes to freedom, not to more stuff. Without the definition, there is no finish line. You just keep running. Rule 9, measure wealth by options, not objects. Most people measure wealth by what they have. Minimalists measure it by what they can choose. Can you leave a job that's making you miserable? Can you take 3 months off if your family needs you? Can you start something of your own without a guaranteed salary? Can you say no to opportunities that pay well but feel wrong? These options, these freedoms, are actual wealth. And they only exist when there's real space between your income and your expenses. The person earning $180,000 but spending $175,000 has almost zero choices. They are locked to their income. The person earning $70,000 but spending $42,000 has enormous freedom. They can absorb disruption. They can take calculated risks. They can wait for the right opportunity instead of grabbing whatever pays the bills. Every purchase is a trade. You exchange some of your future options for the thing in front of you. Sometimes that trade is worth it. Most of the time, it isn't. Rule 10: declutter in cycles, not purges. Most people who try minimalism do one massive clear out, feel incredible, then gradually accumulate right back to where they started within 18 months. The purge felt productive. The slow return went unnoticed. Minimalists don't purge. They cycle. A quick check of what came into the home each week. A review of one category per month. A broader look at overall patterns every 3 months. 3 items removed per week is 156 items per year, manageable, invisible, sustainable. 300 items in one afternoon feels overwhelming enough that most people postpone it until it never happens. The cycle also builds awareness. You start noticing which emotions lead to buying. Which marketing tactics work specifically on you. Which categories always seem to grow back. Prevention is always easier than another purge. Close. Here's what nobody says about this. The relationship goes both directions. Owning less creates more money. But having more money, real savings, real investments, real security, also makes owning less feel completely natural. When your account is growing, the urge to buy things to feel successful fades. Because your account already tells you the story you want to hear. Spending to feel secure is the trap. Being actually secure is the exit. The apartment with calm confidence and 14 months of savings, that belongs to someone who decided to apply these rules. Not someone who earned more. Someone who thought differently. The choice in front of you isn't between having things and not having things. It's between owning your life, or letting your life be owned by what you've accumulated. The math favors freedom. So does the peace of mind.